Last night, Californians also asked to legalize recreational marijuana.
And we did. 56% for, 44% were against it. That got our newsroom wondering about the repercussions for working San Diegans who choose to light up. So we sent 10 News reporter RIELLE CREIGHTON in search of the answer.
Well, Steve, so many of us are familiar with these signs at work, places where you can't smoke, or in this case, places where you cannot. We did talk to a local attorney who broke down the new law. And just because marijuana is now legal, he says, it doesn't mean you can get high at work. Dante Pride is a San Diego attorney specializing in employment law. He says he often gets calls like this.
Tested positive for marijuana, or THC, I should say, and I've been terminated. Can you help me?
His response is always the same.
I'm sorry, but the courts have already spoken. Employers do not have to accommodate your use of marijuana in the workplace.
Now that Proposition 64, as expected, passed in California, legalizing the recreational use of marijuana, Pride says when it comes to the workplace, nothing has changed.
Either way, it's still illegal under federal law, and so that's kind of what companies and the California courts are leaning back on.
He says the courts have upheld an employer's right to refuse to hire an applicant who tests positive for pot in a pre-employment drug screen, or even fire workers who failed a drug test, even when the drug was being used legally under previous law for medicinal purposes. Although recreational smoking may now be legal, he says you put your job at risk if you're ever caught under the influence at work. Now, beyond the workplace, there are also some new questions about the taxes that are going to be imposed on this new legal weed. We're digging into that. We'll have that for you coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. For now, we're live in Central San Diego tonight. RIELLE CREIGHTON, 10 News.
New day in California. Thank you, RIELLE. California was the first state to legalize medical marijuana exactly 2 decades ago. Looking ahead to 2017, analysts expect Michigan to try and legalize pot, and for Arizona to try again despite last night's defeat of their measure.